Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Today you're going to be reviewing this fella, Fuller's 1845. One of the best of the cheaper Fuller's beers, because obviously Fuller's make a lot of beers. Some, they're special ones that are £6 and upwards. But out of all the breweries in the UK, I find that Fuller's have got probably the most of my favourite beers. And and for an old brewery that's been around, I mean, obviously today's craft breweries are bringing out beers that are amazing, but these beers, a lot of their beers are available everywhere, or all the big supermarkets, so they're easy to get, because some of these beers are very hard to get, especially if you want only one off just to try the beer. Right, so bottle conditioned ale, matured to perfection for 100 days, and an alcohol content of 6.3%. Now this has come, it was brewed when, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Fuller's. Okay, so this has been in my shed. It's quite cool. It's probably about 6 or 7 degrees down there, or maybe not, maybe about 10 degrees, but it's still cool. So we'll see how it goes. Now last night, I drank too much last night, and today, you had them days at work and you're feeling it, and I had a crappy hangover at work. So tonight, one beer and one beer only. Watch me not be able to sleep though tonight, but I need to do something. So, obviously a lot of lacing around the edge, and I think that a lot of that is because of the cold as well. Chestnut mahogany colour with a white head on the nose. Very much a traditional malt driven beer. It's very malty on the nose, and one of my favourites. Cheers. Right, very malty on the taste, and despite the fact that it's come from a cold room, I can still taste, I won't say Christmas pudding flavours, but certainly a lot of those what are in there, like raisins and sultanas and that sort of thing. That is nice. The best beers, you go back to them. I mean, it's the second time I've reviewed this, but I reviewed it in the days when the channel didn't really have anybody looking at it. So to go back and review it again, and sometimes I like to re-review beers anyway, just to know that they're still as good as they were. I've had some beers, one beer in particular, Bateman's Mocha, and I actually like. It's a beer that I absolutely love. And yet the last bottle I had of it was not good at all. The flavour didn't seem anywhere near as good. And so I will have to re-review it just to see. Maybe it was a one-off. And like I said, maybe the batch wasn't up to its usual high standard. Whereas this fella, definitely up to it. And even though it's not at warm temperature, some great flavour, really is. So just going to show you that it doesn't always have to be room temperature to get the flavour. But I suppose those beers with good flavour and good complexities, especially if the dark beers, warmer is better. One with port and ginger wine kits. Still bubbling away. We are now on 7, 8, 9, 10 days in, and they're still bubbling away. I mean, the port did actually stop for a day, so I shook the bloody hell out of it. And because what I found with some these beer kits and wine kits, sometimes the sugar settles at the bottom, and the yeast, for whatever reason, not getting to that sugar, and hence why sometimes I've had kits where there's a little bit of a sugary taste to it, because the yeast should theoretically keep going until all that sugar's been turned into alcohol. So I've rattled the buggers again this weekend, and because they're here on my windowsill and they're too wound up. So there's the port kit, and you can see it's bubbling away there, and it's got this like a frothy on top. The froth disappeared and then it's come back again. God knows what that's about. And there's the ginger wine kit, and you can actually see a bit of the ginger wine in there. And you can touch it, it's still bubbling away. So yeah, a bit of a combined review and an update, although I won't put the update on the description, but people who watch regular videos will see it anyway, so that's good enough. Looking forward to trying both of them out as well. I've had the ginger wine kit before, and it's the closest thing to Stone's Special Reserve ginger wine, and I do love that ginger wine, but I'm not paying £7.50 every time. And now, because of shops disappearing in Nottingham, there's nowhere to buy it, so you have to get it online. So then you've got postage and packaging, which is a ball ache, you know, especially if you want to just get one bottle. Although Ocado do actually sell it, but Ocado are miserable bleeders, because you go to Ocado and you put loads and loads of beers, because obviously I want the beers, and then you try and get your 15 or 20 quid off, and they won't let it go through. Whereas Waitrose, I had 2 orders from them there, both went through, got loads of new beers. So obviously I'm a fan of beer, so I want to be trying new beers all the time. And I also want to be entering competitions and trying to win, you know. And I will get on some brewery tours this year. Definitely looking at going to St. Peter's Brewery down in near Great Yarmouth. There's a theme park called Pleasurewood Hills down there, so it's going to be one of them where we're going to go down and probably stop over in a B&B and make a weekend of it. Like, go down, 3-hour drive. It's a bastard of a drive, pardon my French, but especially if you don't like driving them distances. But yeah, 3-hour drive, and get there, go to the theme park, stop overnight, then the next morning probably go to St. Peter's Brewery if it's open, so I have to make sure it's open on a Sunday. Go in, buy 100 quid's worth of beer, every single beer that I've never reviewed. Bought there without beers, because I didn't like them, to be honest. But all the alcohol beers, and yeah, that's definitely on the agenda this year. And I definitely want to do a Titanic brewery tour. Little things you want to do, just to see how breweries do. I mean, we've got breweries near me, so I must, and that's great because they're on the doorstep. Especially if it's a brewery that I've not really bought any beers from before. And it's always good to listen to somebody who's passionate about what they do. I am passionate about beers. I could talk about beers and wines and homebrew all day long, as you notice by the rattling away that I do when I'm doing reviews. But you know, when I worked at Sainsbury's, they were good years. And apart from being dragged to go on, what killed it is when they tried to get you onto tills. But I'd have never left there. If I could have just worked on the booze department, bar the crappy hours, I mean, working Friday nights till 10 o'clock, kills your social life. I mean, nowadays it won't matter, but yeah, it did kill it a bit. But being in an aircon, you're never wet, you're never freezing. I was always bloody warm, I was, because I worked like a muppet, and I really enjoyed what I did. So people out there, you know, if you're looking for a new job, and it's, I mean, for me, I'm looking at some of these wine shops, and I think, as I get older, would it be a thing to work in one of them? I mean, for me, I wish that somebody like Love Brewing would open up a shop in Nottingham, and then do like gin courses at night. Oh, now that would be something. Let's hope they expand. I'll have to keep nudging them and see if they will. So anyway, back to the what we were supposed to be talking about. and as it's warming up, the flavour in this beer is coming through. This is a beer that should be in your top 10 beers. And you know, if you wanted to do a little experiment, get 2 of them. They're on a 4 for £6 deal at was it Tesco's on a 4 for 6? I got that one from Sainsbury's, but I'm sure they're on a 4 for 6 at Tesco's, which is insane for such a good beer. But anyway, yeah, if you get that, do one from a cold, from the fridge even, and then do one and drink one warm and see the difference. It's got to be worth doing one day. Might do it myself one day, but when I've had a few days less drinking. That, even at this temperature, the taste is immense. It puts a lot of beers to shame. And unlike a lot of these bottle conditioned beers, it doesn't froth over like a bastard. Because that is a problem with some of these bottle conditioned ones. I've got a review, oh dear, far back as a beer review 187, I think it was, somewhere along them lines anyway. And I got this beer from France that the father-in-law picked up. Anyway, I didn't know that you had to get a jug, open it up, put it in the fridge, open it up, and slowly decanter it into a bloody jug. I didn't know that, did I? So I'm there doing the review. Next minute, I crack this one open. Fucking hell! Whoosh! Up the ceiling. I've never seen a beer like it. I thought it's like you got a bottle of pop and you shook the bottle of pop and it just. And if you go back in time, it's when beer reviews go wrong. That's part of the thing. So if you can search my beer reviews. I did put it as the featured beer review for a while because it was funny and it definitely caught me on the caught me off guard, and it was everywhere. I was wiping down beer off my TV, and and the face, genuinely, absolutely shocked me. But yeah, back to this beer. This, like some of these bottle conditioned beers, Pedigree is another one. And it doesn't overly, it doesn't spew over, which is good, I don't mind them being bottle conditioned, but I don't want them spewing like a bugger. I mean, I'm used to it with my homebrew beers because obviously for secondary fermentation I put a drop of sugar in, as you do. You can use drops, but I use sugar. And sometimes, like a prat, I overdo it. And you come to the bottle and the bottle's expanded twice the size, so you know that it's not good. It's all that gas. And you open it, it's like whoosh. And then the next minute the froth's coming, you have to close the lid, and it takes about 20 minutes to pour half a glass out, which is most annoying. So, now if I lived near London, Fuller's would be a brewery that I would die to go and see, but there's no way I'm going all that way just to look for a brewery. I might be a fan, I'm not that much of a fan. Plus I never get the time anyway. Yeah, you work 5 days a week, you only got the weekends, and you want quality time, don't you? And I don't class the work day as quality anymore. I just go and do what I do, come home, try and enjoy myself. I'm enjoying myself at the moment because I'm putting leaf mould on beds, on shrubberies, and our tip is waterlogged, as is a lot of places in the UK at the moment, so the water's about that deep. Driving through it's hilarious. Yeah, the day I get stuck in there, it won't be fun because it stinks as well. Oh, so absolutely beautiful. Can't praise this enough. Another top class beer, another beer that deserves a top 10 classification, which is my way of saying that I think this is a beer that you must try. There's a lot of beers out there that they're okay, but some beers just deserve to be heralded as the best of the best, and that's in my opinion. And obviously we're all very different. Somebody else might drink this and think, oh god, it's too strong. Some people are like that. They don't want strong beers. It can be too strong for them. And again, I was the same at one stage. I drank Champion Ale, McEwen's Champion Ale one time, that's 7.3%. Drank it, didn't like it at all, thought it was way too strong, couldn't get on with it. I thought, oh, I can't stand this, it's nasty. Next time I drank it, because I've been drinking slightly stronger beers, when I drank it the second time, I appreciated it for what it was. I could taste all the flavours that were there, and it was an immense beer. So if you're a person who can't drink, you probably watched me doing some of these, you think, God, that sounds nice, and then you've drank it. And I know some people have, because I've seen the comments where you drink it, you think, oh no, I didn't like that, it was too strong. But then once you get to those stronger beers, and you have a nibble at another stronger beer, and once you get used to it, then you'll appreciate it more, like I do. So as you can see, I'd say chestnut in colour, or no, more mahogany than chestnut. It's hard to tell, it looks bloody brown, you know, simple as that. There was good lacing originally, there was a little bit of a white head. On the nose, lovely malty nose. On the taste, great malt taste, with a lot of those Christmas pudding flavours, you know, and lots of complex flavours in there. Picking out the flavours is a task. I'm not joking. 10 different people will pick out lots of different flavours. One of them beers that will, if you was to sit down and drink a beer, got some you time, you sit down, you have the beer, and you drink it, and you're sitting there to yourself, and you just, you know, on your own, roll it around your mouth, think, what can I pick out of this? And that is when you get a lot of pleasure from drinking beers like this. You know, it's not a beer you want to sup. That's why it's took me 17 bloody minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes, Jesus. I can talk for England. Right. So, with that in mind, out of 5. Wow. What a beer. Absolute classic. Can't fault it. It's available in definitely Tesco's, Sainsbury's, maybe Morrison's, Asda, no. Out of 5, 4.65 out of 5. So that definitely top 10. Yeah, it's an absolute stalwart, fantastic beer. And Fuller's do some bang on beers. You know, their range is bloody brilliant. Right, thanks for watching, and see you soon. I'll do some internet work now. Cheers.